and help him grow some more, bro. Because he's getting close to 100K, bro. I can't lie, which is crazy. I'm not gonna lie, I started watching this video already. So.
Recent leaks for Chapter 6, as well as FNCS coming up closer every single day now. I thought it was the perfect time.
By the way, FNCS is in 2 weeks.
To go over all of the confirmed trios, as well as some potential trios that we are going to be seeing for FNCS now. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, as we are trying to hit 85,000 subscribers as soon as possible. Use code KDOG in the Fortnite item shop if you guys want to support me even more. Without further ado though, let's get straight into today's video. Alright, so as well as going over every single one of the confirmed teams, I'm also going to be giving my ceiling and my floor for all of these teams. So let's start off with the big one, and one that has just recently been confirmed by Clix himself is the trio of Clix, Muzz, and Rise.
Nah, chat. First opinions on these. You're hitting level 100? Oh, nice. First opinion on these. Muzz is one of the best aim players in game right now. One of the best aim players in game right now. If Clix, this is honestly, we thought Clix's best chance was before. This is Clix's best chance. Dude, Muzz is so good at this game, it's disgusting. Like, I genuinely thought at first he was cheating, I can't lie, because of how good I think he is. So I think, honestly, this is Clix's best chance.
Now, if you guys have watched any of my Cash Cup recap videos, you guys would know that I literally have been saying this for so long now, that when Clix and Rise are playing with people like Cooper or like Epic Whale, I said the whole time they were just waiting until Muzz came back, and that did officially get confirmed by Clix like 2 days ago now, I'm pretty sure. Now, this trio has actually never played a set lobby finals together, because if you guys remember at the beginning of the season, this was actually when Clix and Muzz decided to drop Rise to play with Rapid, so these guys do not have any set lobby finals experience together yet. I think their ceiling though is still like a top 5 in FNCS. They definitely have the potential to be a top 5 trio on NA. I'm gonna be honest, if they're not a top 5 trio on NA, it would be a pretty disappointing thing.
That's the thing, chat. Like, obviously it also goes off of like if they get contested or not, but there's no way they don't get like top 5 minimum. Obviously Clix will probably get like 4th because that's just what Clix does, but I honestly, like real stuff, I think Clix is getting like
of this
second
caliber. I think their floor is splitting at the end of the day though. Like, out of all of the teams,
let me know what y'all think though.
I don't think their chance of splitting is very like high, but there might still be a little bit of tension between Muzz and Rise, especially because a lot of people are saying it was Muzz's original idea to drop Rise, and if things go poorly for this trio, I would not be surprised if they decided to all just split up. All right, next up, let's go over the trio that just recently got dropped by potentially one of the biggest.
Big Khanada Glazer here, chat. Big Khanada Glazer here, chat. Low key, Peterbot should have kept Khanada.
Fortnite now. The brand new trio of Khanada, Acorn, and Ager.
They were doing so good.
Now, this team, I honestly am super excited to see how they end up going in FNCS. I think this team will end up sticking together. In the only Cash Cup finals they played together, they ended up placing second place in finals. I think this team definitely has like a top 3 FNCS potential. I think they definitely are, like, as of right now in this current moment, a top 3 team on NA. And if I'm being honest, I think their floor is probably like a top 10. I don't really see a way that this team finishes outside of the top 10.
So what he means, like the floor, he's talking about like what's the lowest he thinks they'll get as the team.
And you have one of the best IGLs in all of NA. Yeah,
Acorn's really good.
You clearly have one of the best support players in all of NA, Khanada, and one of the most underrated fraggers of Agers as well. Now,
I don't know much about Agers, but I know he's decent.
I really don't see why they would end up splitting, unless the trio that I go over later of like Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual just absolutely dud, and Cold and Ritual went to like pick up Agers again. I don't really see why this trio would end up splitting. All right, let's move on to some EU teams now, and start off with by far the best team on EU of Veno and Flickzy. Now, this trio has placed 15th place, then 4 straight wins, and then a 27th place in the last Cash Cup. I think this is one of the teams that honestly has like one of the biggest swings for me, to be honest. I think their ceiling is definitely winning in FNCS, but their floor has to be just like dudding FNCS, as they have shown sometimes that like in Cash Cups they can just completely dud out of nowhere. But any
dud is crazy though. Like I don't keep up with Veno, but dud is crazy.
They are not dudding, they are just winning. So if I had to like give a prediction, I think they definitely do have a higher chance of winning FNCS than they do of dudding FNCS. But I think for the floor, you kind of just have to give them that, since they've literally shown like a 27th place and a 15th place in the Cash Cup finals. But I think in time, when they just are playing together more, get more experience with each other, then they will just have more consistency over time. And I really don't see how you can pick any other team to be your FNCS favorite on EU besides this trio right now. All right, let's get on to what I believe is the second best team on EU of Yanis, Reon, and Noahreyli. Now, this trio has placed 2nd place, 6th place, and second place in the Trio Cash Cup finals.
Reon and
It's really
Noahreyli
just a
are
crazy
really good
like
players.
night and day difference between when this team had Vidal compared to when they ended up picking up Noahreyli. I'm not gonna lie, this trio has really had the potential to win like multiple Cash Cup finals as well, and like some of these second places that they have gotten, but they just had some issues with being contested as well as like crashing a couple games. So I think the ceiling for this team definitely has to be an FNCS win, just based off of what we have seen from them so far in the 3 Trio Cash Cups they have played together. I think their floor is definitely like a top 10 in FNCS. I think some things could go wrong for this trio if they continue to get contested week after week, but hopefully by the time FNCS comes, they have really shown that they are a good fighting off spawn team, and they're able to get a good POI uncontested as well. Remember to let me know your guys' own thoughts on all these trios in the comment section down below, and to comment down below your own ceiling and floor for them as well. All right, now let's go over a team that honestly has a lot of question marks, and we just don't really know where this trio is going from here, and that is the trio of MrSavage, Mongraal, and Twat. Now this trio—
Okay. Opinion, don't think they're getting FNCS. I gotta say it, bro. I don't think MrSavage and Mongraal and the other teammate, I don't think they have what it takes, bro. I think they're more like content creator stuff now. Like, MrSavage and Mongraal are cool, but I just don't think they
in the
can.
Cash Cup finals week 1, and then they didn't qualify for a single trio Cash Cup after.
Like, bro, not qualifying for a single Cash Cup as a pro is kind of crazy, bro.
That. I'm not gonna lie, I just don't really know what this trio is going to do in chapter 6 yet. If I had to make a guess right now, I think they are just going to try to stick with Twi and continue building up chemistry with them, because I just don't really know what better tier 1 options
Mongraal and MrSavage don't really have much moves.
I think the only way that this team is able to get like an insane tier 1 option is
a lot of pros don't want to play with streamers because they don't want like,
but I think we all kind of do just realize that at this point in time, I don't think there's any real way that MrSavage is going to drop Mongraal unless Mongraal is just fully quitting the game again, which it doesn't look like he's going to anytime soon. I think the ceiling for this trio is definitely just like qualifying for grands. If this team was able to qualify for grands, I think they would be very satisfied with that, and I think a lot of their fan bases would as well, considering just how they look right now. I think the floor for this team is definitely splitting up or just not making grands. I think at the same time though, none of us would really be surprised if either of those things happened, unfortunately. Let's just hope this team can really lock in once chapter 6 drops and they can start grinding together.
They've been needing to lock in since like chapter 5, bro. Mongraal and MrSavage, like they gotta tee up twice.
A little bit, and let's talk about the team of Threats, Bugha, and Reet. Now this trio is very
the only reason I think this team is good is literally except Bugha.
Interesting,
like,
because this was the original
I'm not a hater on Bugha,
at the
it's
start
just,
of
not how
OG
he used to be.
season, and then obviously there was this whole drama with like Bugha and Threats dropping Reet for Miro, but it looks like Miro is either on like a really long break right now.
Yeah, I don't know what Miro's doing. Miro's chilling. He's won 6 FNCS.
So I think the trio of Threats, Bugha, and Reet is more likely to be the official trio going into FNCS instead of Miro now. I think the ceiling for this team is definitely like a top 5 in FNCS grands, but the floor has to be splitting up since they have already shown that they are willing to drop Reet for Miro. This is one of the teams that has a bit more question marks than almost any other team, because I really do feel like all 3 of these players could be on completely different
I don't know.
Teams I think by the time FNCS
might be a little better right
starts. Now let's check out the team that has honestly probably been in the most amount of controversy over this last couple of like days now, and that of course is the trio of—
No, I'm not saying Miro's in his prime, but he is like one of the goats of Fortnite for the fact he's gotten 6 FNCS wins on controller.
Now if you guys missed my video from a couple days ago, this trio actually ended up getting banned,
but they honestly chat, we made a video about this. Seti, his trio, and the other trio they were teaming with, full-blown cheating. Full-blown cheating. They got unbanned. I don't know what Fortnite's doing. I don't know what's wrong with them, but Fortnite needs to keep them banned. They should not have unbanned them. They were full-blown cheating. Full-blown cheating. They were full-blown teaming.
Only got banned for like a grand total of maybe an hour until Epic Games actually ended up unbanning them.
Insane. Said he should have stayed banned with Cammy.
Whether or not you think this trio should even be allowed to play this FNCS or not.
Oh, and the fact that they could play the FNCS, bro. Like, they literally openly cheated. They openly cheated. No, where's Jarvis at? No, it's not. They didn't aimbot. They were so openly trading tags for Storm Surge. It was disgusting.
But you can't.
Like, they weren't popping shield. They were standing too much in the open. Like, it was so obvious. Like, I can't believe Fortnite banned them.
A second, a fourth, and the 8th, and a 3rd in the Trio Cash Cup Finals.
Like, they're a good trio. They didn't need
this
the
is
team like
definitely
that.
A top 3 team
insane.
on EU, and you have to give them the ceiling of winning an FNCS. We did see Seti and Cammy absolutely dud like the last Grand Finals before Globals when they were contested. So I'm not sure.
No, I'm not saying they're bad, chat. I'm just saying that just teaming just instantly just makes you so much worse of a player.
Potentially dudding just in case they are contested. All right, now let's go to probably the most unpredictable team on what is actually going to happen with them of the trio of Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual. Now,
this is going to be an interesting one, bro. I'm excited to see what Peterbot does.
In the only trio cash cup they have played.
And ban information have unbanned them? No, exactly. Like, there was nothing they could have done. There is full-blown, literally full context to it of them cheating. And it's not even like a little bit like, could they not be? Could they? No, it's fully like they were standing out in the open. They weren't popping shield. They were waiting too long for someone to hit a headshot snipe. It was too obvious, and they did it in multiple rounds. It was so
they
obvious.
Ended up obviously getting first place in it, and I think the ceiling of this team has to be an FNCS win. As I've said multiple times before, any team with Peterbot on it at this point in his career, the ceiling has to be an FNCS win.
Peter's probably
especially when
again.
You are
no glaze, but I
adding
think he's
to
winning
that trio as well. I think the floor, and all of us really should know this by now, is going to be splitting up. Do I think this team?
Bot's ego goes crazy. No, I'm not gonna lie. His ego is disgusting, but he is one of the best players right now.
Up or winning an FNCS.
There's no lie to
point in time, just based on how we have seen things go.
Hopefully during FNCS season, he doesn't just go through every team like a football
right now. If you guys think this team is going to make it all the way until FNCS, I just feel like Peter is currently one of the most unpredictable players on what he is actually going to be doing. So it is really hard to give like a fair assumption on this trio right now. Now let's talk about what might potentially be.
But there's no way Peterbot doesn't go with Cold. The reason I say that is because Cold is the second best fragger other than Peterbot, and it's been like numberly shown. So like it would make no sense if Peterbot didn't stay with Cold, but it also would make sense that he doesn't stay with Poyo since Poyo helps him a lot.
Team on NA of Poyo, Bolts, and Rapid. Now
this is a really good team, by the way. Like no glaze, but like Bolts is really underrated and he's really good. We checked his highlights before. Poyo is still disgustingly insane.
Second, a fifth, a second, and an 11th in the Cash Cup. I think the ceiling for this team is definitely an FNCS win, and the floor for this trio. I mean, it could potentially be splitting up, but I don't think they are going to split up.
I mean, is it karma for him having ego, or is that just kind of like how he is?
In FNCS.
Like his
personality. I really want to know how many of you guys actually think that this.
Because that's the thing, bro. Any other Fortnite pro
team is going to place anywhere outside
that high
of like
have an
the
ego.
top 5 in FNCS.
Dog, I'm not gonna lie.
They have already shown to have
control it, but I'd have some type of ego.
When playing together,
if
as
I
long
won
as they're able to get like an
row.
uncontested
like,
drop
that's
spot in FNCS, I just really don't see a way that they would finish outside of the top 5. All right, let's head back over to EU now and start off with probably the most disappointing team of all of OG season of Swizy, MrSavage, and Veno. Now, this trio was only able to qualify for 1 week of the Cash Cup Finals, and in that week, they placed 15th place in it. So I'm not going to lie, I am really surprised that this team didn't end up splitting at all. Like, if you tell any NA team that they are going to only qualify for 1 Cash Cup Finals and they're going to place 15th in that, there was just no way any NA team sticks together. So, I mean, if they've already made it this far, I don't really see why they would want to split up now. I think their ceiling is definitely a top 5 in Grand still, just based on the caliber of these 3 players alone, and the fact that we really don't know who the top EU teams even are right now, outside of like Veno, Flickzy, and Yanis, Noahreyli, and Reon. I think they definitely do still have a top 5 Grand ceiling, and I think their floor is either going to be not qualifying for Grands, which just sounds absolutely insane to me, but just based on the placements
by the way, I
they've had so far, we really have to say that that is a real possibility. All right, we just got a couple teams left to go over. Let's start off with the trio of Chapi, Tini, and Chicho. Now, Tini and Chicho actually ended up winning the first trio Cash Cup of the season with Queasy, and then they made one of the most
Queasy's really good, chat. Queasy and Thomas HD placed second in the land event versus Peterbot and Poyo.
When they actually decided to drop Queasy for Chapi, and then after that they placed 2nd, 3rd, 10th, and 5th in the Trio Cash Cup Finals. So I mean, this team has showed the potential to be one of the best teams on EU. They just really have not done it consistently yet. I think you still have to give this team the ceiling of a top 3 in FNCS right now, though. But this is definitely one of the teams that I would not be surprised if we do see them end up splitting up, especially if things are not going well for them in Chapter 6. And also because the person that they actually won a Cash Cup with is currently still looking for a trio, and the only real news we have on him right now is he tweeted out looking for a trio with Queasy for 2025.
Oh, that sucks, bro, because like, chat, I always say this, bro, like, I've been starting to say this ever since like I learned about how he would like did good on land, bro. Feel bad for Queasy, bro, because like, dude, finding a trio can surprisingly be really difficult. Like, actually good players.
He's some crazy aimer slash fighter, and
then actually find like chemistry with the players too. If that makes sense.
Lobby,
like,
full grinding. If you're just asking me right now, I don't think Queasy is 100% locked with Pixie for all of 2025 right now, because then Queasy literally did also tweet, "How did I get so cooked for my trio options by being snaked?"
Yeah, see that's what I was saying, chat. Like having like it's really difficult to have options when it comes to trios.
Which I honestly completely agree with. I don't know how Queasy doesn't have like multiple tier 1 options after having one of the craziest LAN performances for an IGL in a very long time. The final team that we have to go over, and I think this team is one of them that are 100% locked going into FNCS. This has by far been the most underrated team on NA, and they also have an argument to be one of the best teams on NA of Batman Booga, Mason, and Yamzo. Now this trio has gotten a 4th,
it's actually gonna be interesting.
A 9th, 3rd, and a 13th in the Cash Cup finals. They're one of the only teams to play every single trio Cash Cup together and make every single finals together as well. And also the 13th placement that they had, they were actually contested by Bolts, Poyo, and Rapid. So I mean, every time this team has been uncon, they've literally almost placed top 5. I think the ceiling for this team is definitely like a top 3, depending on how good of a drop spot they are able to get. I think this is definitely a
it's all about drops, dude. Like the big thing about Fortnite right now is all about like having the best drop, obviously like decent loot, but more so like not being contested, bro. Being contested such a big thing that like
right now, and just with how consistent they look right now, I really don't know how you could put them anywhere outside of your top 5. Other than that though, if anything changes, you guys already know I will be the first person to update you guys on what is going on with all of the brand new trios when snake seasons happen. Remember, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, as we are trying to hit 85,000 subscribers as soon as possible. This is probably going to be my last video until chapter 6. So thank you guys all so much for making chapter 5 such an awesome chapter for the channel. I cannot wait to see what's up and coming for chapter 6 now. Remember, use code KDog in the Fortnite item shop if you guys want to support me even more.
Heck yeah, chat. Yeah, make sure you guys subscribe to KDog. Dude, literally one of the best like YouTubers when it comes to competitive talk. Other than like, I mean like Aussie Antics is Aussie Antics, but like chat, KDog is so underrated.